It is not all students in your class that can carry out the volume of homework that you give to them on a daily basis independently. Most of these children rely on their home lesson teachers to do their homework for them. In the classroom, you have different level of children. You have the high flyers, you have the middle ones, you have those that are coming up, and you have those that you know the categories that they belong to. And now, as a class teacher, is it fair to teach them at the same level, knowing fully well the category of children that you have in your classroom? In a classroom, you have your curriculum, you have certain level of milestones that the child should accomplish on a termly basis. But trust me, not all children can actually function in that capacity that can meet up that milestone. Deploy differentiated learning, differentiated task. In that way, you're reaching every child in your environment, and everybody is learning and growing in their own pace without pressure of comparison. You can say, this is what I was asked to teach, so if you like, you get it. If you don't like, we are moving on to the next topic. Then you are not a good teacher. If you're giving the typical children 10 homework, or one homework with 10 questions for them to answer, in your own assessment, you know the ones that can do that 10, you know the ones that can do 5 out of 10, you know the one that cannot do it at all. So what do? You have to use differentiated learning, differentiated tasks to help each child at their stages. For children that can't do that at all, you look for something simpler, something similar to what they're learning. May not be exactly, but something that is similar and can help reinforce the core concept to that child in your classroom. If you have 50 subjects that students in your class are going to learn, okay, now you need to understand that it is not all the children in that class that can do that 15 subjects truthfully. And again, you need to understand that there are some subjects that are not relevant to children that are wired differently. For example, teaching a child who is having difficulties in even understanding their immediate environment, history of another country. I leave it there. So another thing is, you have so many subjects, right? And in a subject, there are different topics. You need to understand that for children that are wired differently, they may not be able to cope with all the topics under that subject. So what you should do, where differentiated learning comes into play, is select the topics that the child can relate with, okay? And use pictures, flashcards, demonstrations, modeling, comparing to illustrate that topic to the child in question, or to the set of children in question that cannot cope with the general class work. Okay, another thing you can do is just reduce the number of subjects. You have to discuss this with the parents, and if the parent does not give you consent to reduce the number of subjects that the child can do, you absolutely cannot do anything about it. When you find parents who insist that their children should do everything everybody is doing in the classroom, as the class teacher, you understand that this child cannot function in that capacity. You have to keep talking while you're trying to help the child.